Hey guys, welcome back to the second round here with Jeskai Saheeli. We won the die roll once again, and yes, we would like to play first. Take a look at our opener here. It's very land heavy. I think this is probably a mulligan. I mean, Snap Path could be good in this matchup, but it's kind of hard to know in the dark. I think in the dark this is definitely a mulligan. And this is a little better. It's a little better. At least we have something to do. I think this is a keep. This is the second blue source for click, but it's not the second white source for verdict, so I'm actually going to go ahead and bottom that. Let's go ahead, in case this is... Well, actually, I'll start with Steam Vents. I mean, Sacred Foundry might have been the correct one there, but I think if we want to, kind of ensure like a turn 3 click, I think this is the best way to sequence it. Alright, looks like we're in a... Ooh, Delver. Oh. Haven't played this matchup in a while. You don't see much of Delver anymore. I feel like I'm the only one playing it still. Alright, we have the combo in hand, but it's a bit... Oof. Alright, so our opponent goes and flips. I mean, I guess they knew they were going to... Oh, wait, no, they didn't cast Serum Visions. But this is where verdict comes in nicely. They go bottom, bottom. Hopefully they're digging for a land. That would make me feel good. Yes, alright, so they're digging for a land. Unfortunately, we can't cast anything but Saheeli in our hand. We could force a lightning bolt out of our opponent. And one less lightning bolt at our face might be fine. And this, of course, means if our opponent doesn't have Bolt, and we draw a land on top, then we're in a pretty good position. Like if our opponent is forced to, say, Serum Visions here to dig for another land or something like that. Alright, looks like they're going for our face here. Just completely understandable. They probably have the Bolt, I mean... The thing is, if they don't have the land, they have to discard, which is also good. Alright, looks like they're just passing. Probably holding up Bolt for the combo, which is good for us. And here's what we can do. We'll go ahead and scry up, and on their draw step, we'll go ahead and click. It's the second white source, but it comes into play untapped. I mean tapped. So we'll go ahead and bottom that. Hopefully our opponent just passes here. Thought Scour? Sure. Would they discard? Cryptic Serpent. Interesting. Alright. Here we'll go ahead and click. See what our opponent's sitting on. Wow. We can't fight over all of this, is the thing. Let's just go ahead and take a quick snapshot of this. And I don't want to give them another land here. So I'm going to go ahead and say no. And if they choose to attack, we'll block the Aberration. And then they aren't really doing anything, and we can resolve Jace, and then they're pretty screwed. So I don't want to take anything here. Now our opponent is in a pretty uncomfortable position. Can't attack. Can't do much. And they're just constantly discarding. I think here we just try to resolve Jace, and we can tick up. Do we attack with click? I mean, are we winning the race? Probably not, right? They can always end of turn Bolt. Here I think I'll just get a plains, and we'll start here. See what's on the top of our deck, and then make more decisions as we go on. Kind of looking for a lightning bolt. Just want to deal with this, this aberration. There we go. That's a bolt. Interesting. We could play the Jace and tick up. Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. Because we know it's going to resolve. Let's just go ahead and tick up. And because we know we're drawing Bolt next turn, and we don't need to worry too much. And we don't want to Verdict this board right now. Alright, so now they're going to start burning some of their bolts, which is good. Because then they can't protect the combo. I mean, they can't disrupt the combo. Vapor Snag. Okay. This kind of makes me feel more comfortable to Verdict the board now, actually. And this Aberration is only going to be pounding in for 1. But, of course, we're drawing Bolt, so we're not going to do that. Let's see if our opponent wants to commit more to the board here. Possibly in the form of another Delver. And that's the thing. You know, they can't commit to the board because we could have the combo. This was the same thing with Splinter Twin, in the sense that it's very hard to play at sorcery speed. Like this, our opponent just goes ahead and passes. And that's perfectly fine with us, right? So we'll go ahead and tick up here. We don't need another land. We'll work towards Jace alt. Because we don't want it to die to Bolt. And we still have a stop on our opponent's draw step. And we'll do the same thing. Opponent's going to go for the face Bolt. Say okay. Here we'll go ahead and play Click again. I mean, we're at 5, so it's a little uncomfortable, but see, our opponent still no land. Has 2 bolts in hand, though. That's actually a problem. Right? We're going to have to force them to... We could take one of them, though. I think we take one. I think we have to take one. Even if that gives them another land, I think we have to take one. Right, so let's go ahead and do... Right. And we'll take one of the bolts. Say okay. Now hopefully we didn't dig our opponent into another land. It's very possible we did. But this Delver has actually gotten in for a lot of damage here. So a plan we could go for, if they just keep up Bolt for the rest of the game, we could just Ultimate Saheeli and get a Batter Skull and start gaining life that way. I mean, I kind of like that, right? I mean, we know they have Bolt. We can't stop Bolt. I mean, we could Feldar Guardian the V-Click, but that's just really loose, right? Okay, I mean, the thing is, like, we have this kind of this embarrassment of riches, you know? Our opponent just stops our combo with 1 card. Either Vapor Snag or Bolt will stop the combo. Now, Vapor Snag also hits Batter Skull, which is the issue. I think we'll just Ultimate Saheeli here. I know it's a bit of a risky decision, but we'll go ahead and get Batterskull. And I think we can start attacking here. Alright, our opponent doesn't want to do anything about that. And now we're okay if our opponent just does anything to our... Alright, so we're definitely going to take the remand here, as that's going to slow down the speed at which they can deploy their spells. And I think we just pass here. They can go ahead and Vapor Snag the Batterskull token, and that's fine. Right? That is fine? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, we don't have any effects on draw step now, so that's fine. This is, see, their opponent just have one Vapor Snag? One Vapor Snag, they have a bunch of dead cards in hand. Sweet. Island is a great draw, actually. Let's start with a, -2 here. Let's just draw a bunch of cards. Spreading Seas could be nice in shutting down their red source. I'm actually going to take pile 2 here. So we'll go ahead and attack. And I'm kind of happy if my opponent bolts here. But they're not going to. So instead we're just going to go Feldar Guardian. Target Batterskull. And this will allow us to start gaining some life. Where's this headed? Bolt upstairs? That's fine. One is not 0. So we're only dead if they, like... I don't even know what they could draw at this point. Yep, Serum Visions is fine. I could have remanded that very aggressively, but I think I'll just, you know, allow myself to survive a land bolt. But our opponent is dead on board here. Yep. Whew. That game was closer than it should have been, considering the amount of lands and board presence. But we got there. So Dispel is not bad here. Looks like Verdict's going to be pretty good in this matchup. Blessed Alliance might not be too bad either. I mean, they did have a lot of counter spells. Wall of Omens seems like it'll be pretty poor. Elspeth might be too expensive, but it's solid in the grind. I think Leyline is not where we want to be for this matchup. Our opponent has a lot of hate for the combo, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a few Saheelis. They seem to be graveyard-based for the Cryptic Serpents. Rest in Peace might actually be pretty good here. If that's a way we want to attack them. They could also be playing that other one, the one that discard your hand, draw 3 card. I forget its name, but man, Saheeli ult. It's kind of getting there. Christian, is Blessed Alliance worth it here? I mean, it deals with their large threats, but it's also reactive, which is not great. But they are like a pseudo burn deck in the sense, like they have bolts, they have all this kind of stuff. So, this is tough, but I think this is a fine setup here. I don't know too much. Maybe Elspeth is you're supposed to bring in Elspeth in a matchup like this. Like if they bring in a bunch of Vapor Snags and bolts. But they could also be bringing in things like negate. So it's also very expensive, and they are a relatively aggressive deck. So we'll just run it like that and see if it can get the job done. Of course, a card like Supreme Verdict really help in a matchup like this. Let's see if this is a decent hand. It's got Path, Snap, Path, and a late game play of Jace. Alright, so no Delver turn 1. It's always good to see. Turn 1, we'll just go ahead and... So they could have a Blood Moon as well. Something to keep in mind. So we probably should fetch a basic Plains here. If we care about Blood Moon, we won't have an opportunity to do everything we want. So we have to decide now. And I think we should try to play around Blood Moon as best as we can. So here, this can get a Plains. This can get an Island. Alright, looks like they're shocking. No plays. Cool. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and make sure to not get Blood Mooned. Alright. 2 lands on our opponent's side. Always good to see. Bolt Delver. Sure. Okay. So they could have a very reactive hand here. Now we'll just keep doing our thing. Bolt is a good pickup to deal with Delver. And Path is, of course, good to deal with their Cryptic Serpent style cards. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 instant sorceries. Alright, there's their third land. That's a Delver. We'll go ahead and try to bolt that. And if our opponent wants to use Deprive here, that's fine. Interesting. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a Colonnade down. I think this will discourage our opponent from, if they have Blood Moon, going for it. But getting the second island here is pretty indicative that there's no reason not to get like a Steam Vents, aside of if you have Blood Moon. Batterskull is a sweet draw. If we can draw some Dispels or Remands or kind of engineer a turn where we can resolve it, that'd be really good. Let's go and play a Hallowed Fountain, tapped. But yeah, I highly suspect Blood Moon from our opponent here. Hopefully they have to start discarding some junk. Echoing Truth. Man, see, that's just a bad card here. The thing is, we're also not applying pressure in any way. Alright, there's one bolt to the face. What we could do here is we could just go Snap Bolt. And just start applying pressure on our side, because we're just sitting back here, not doing anything. And if they want to answer the Snapcaster Mage, we can then resolve a Batterskull or a Jace. I apologize if you hear some background noise. There's some very loud people talking outside. Okay. Alright, another bolt's not bad. Beatdown plan is real. We could have revved up Colonnade there, but I think that's a bit risky. Man, they're gonna... Oh, Vapor Snag. Yeah, happily. Thank you. That is a trade I will take any day. Alright, we'll send another bolt upstairs. Alright, so they don't... I think we can just wait. We don't have to rush. Interesting. So they vapor snag the snap, but they don't bolt it. That's very interesting to me. I imagine they're going to try to play a Cryptic Serpent here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they can play for 2 mana, which is pretty good. We could, of course, just Path to Exile it. Alright, let's start fetching. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and play the Snapcaster Mage again. It's gonna get deprived this time. Sure. V-Click is a great draw. So this way we can actually just go Vendilion Click right here. This way if they want to deprive it again, wow, and they just concede. Well, that's how we win that match. Thanks for watching, guys. Not sure what my opponent was sitting on. Maybe just a bunch of like hate in some form or another. But that's why we sided out most of our combo. Alright, so thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next round. See you soon.